What's up, everyone? Welcome to the Power Play with CJ. I'm going to focus in on the Hockey Hall of Fame class of 2016. Obviously, the big name, Eric Lindros, deserves to be in. I've always kind of waffled with Lindros, but I think when you were as dominant as he was, it wasn't as long a period of time, but, was the most dominant player in the league for, however many years. So you got cut short by concussions. He belongs in there, and I don't have an issue with it. And again, if Cam Neely and Pat Valbury are in there, then Lindros should be in there as well. Because all due respect to Neely and the Russian Rocket, Lindros was the most dominant power forward the league had ever seen for a hot second. And I would go so far as to say he was more dominant at his peak than either Neely or Bore ever were. And I don't think that's a stretch to say that. But so that's not a point of contention with me. I have no issue with Sergei Makarov getting in. Again, it's the Hockey Hall of Fame, not the NHL Hall of Fame. One of the most dominant international players of all time. And again, it's the same thing with, the international players are a lot like the, when women players get inducted, it's Cameron Granada, Ezra Ruggiero, whoever. There's always that, how do you grade them specifically, but I think Makarov belongs as one of the greatest players of all time. So, the criteria is a little bit different than, for the NHL, it was always 500 goals gets you in, which isn't the case anymore. We'll get to that in a second, too. But, again, I have no issue. I think they made the right call. Makarov. Pat Quinn, not behind him, not on the first ballot. Pat Burns took forever to get in. And for them to make, and obviously Burns never got to see himself inducted. He passed away before that. And, Quinn, I don't know. I think there's a bias with me with the way he chief shot at Bobby Orr back in the day. So I don't know if I'm the fairest judge of Pat Quinn's character. But, I just think there are other coaches that should have gotten in sooner than Pat Quinn did. But I'm not going to argue that. Rogie Vachon belongs in the Hall of Fame. Should have gotten in earlier. So that's my 2 cents on Vachon. I mean, you look at his numbers. He won 355 games at a time when they still had ties. So not every game had a winner. There were 3 possible options up to. There was no, shootout or overtime to get you a dub. So I like that. I like that he's in. I would love to see Mark Recchi in. And I think Recchi, I'm going to contradict myself because he was never as dominant a player as a player like Lindros was, but he was able to be consistently great and consistently a winner for the over the course of 25 years, 21 years anyway. I'm trying to think. Won the cup in '91 and then won a cup 20 years later. I mean, he had as great a career as you can imagine. And you look at the impact he had in Pittsburgh. Both in 1991 and then when he was there as a mentor later on for Crosby and Malkin. You look at what he did in Carolina. He was the X factor they needed to get over the top, and then when he came to Boston, he was everything that team needed and then some. I mean, he was an excellent addition to that Bruins team, and he was great when they won a cup. But the 2 years lead up to that, he was fantastic as well, as on the ice and in a leadership capacity. So, and you look at like the amount of players that were mentored by Mark Recchi over the years, the amount of young players, whether it was Evgeny Malkin and Sidney Crosby, Jordan Staal, Eric Staal in Carolina, Bergeron and Marchand in Boston. Going a step further, Stamkos in the minute he was in Tampa. The young players that, come on and say, like, I owe a lot to playing with Mark Recchi. So I think he should be in. I just think it's, and you win 3 Stanley Cups, 3 different situations too, 3 different teams, 3 different decades. That's pretty cool, whatever way you shake it. And so Recchi should be in. I'm not happy with that. Dave Anderchuk, I don't get how you can be the all-time leading power play goal scorer in the NHL, score up 600 goals and not be in. I don't know what the issue with Anderchuk is. And then another one, Paul Kariya. Kariya will get in. Not this year, obviously, but he'll get in. I think if Lindros, again, going back to the Lindros, Bure, Neely argument, if you were that dominant and that good, you can't hold injuries against you, particularly if you look at the era Kariya played in. So, again, I don't have an issue with Lindros or Makarov. Quinn, and obviously, if you're gonna say the 2002 Olympic team, I mean, anyone could have coached that team to a gold medal. It's one of the most talented hockey teams ever assembled. And Vachon, I just think should have been in earlier, so I'm not one way or the other on Rogie. But anyway, that's all I got. Episode of the Power Play with CJ. Stay tuned for more episodes throughout the off season and beyond. Later, guys.